welcome to The Lion's Den with Stephen Carr, the late night edition at 8 p.m. This show runs about from 30 minutes to an hour, depending on what I have to give to you. Tonight is going to be the fight for our Commonwealth. We're going to talk about corrupt criminal judges in the PA Supreme Court. We're going to talk about voter turnout in the municipal election and primary, and what needs to happen in the November election concerning the judges and voter turnout. We're going to talk about 2026 election with Stacy Garrity and why it's important that we vote for Stacy Garrity. And exposing Josh Shapiro for what it is, and so what he is, and winning elections and so forth. So today we're going to start off with the fight for our Commonwealth. So it all starts November 4th. General election, and it's the fight for our Commonwealth, because we have to make sure that we get all of our school board candidates in, county commissioners in, Superior Court judges and Commonwealth judges and Supreme Court judges. We also have a choice to vote yes or no on judge retentions, and I'm going to tell you why we need to do exactly that, because for one, these judges are corrupt and criminal judges. They voted to shut down your schools, your churches, your businesses, your livelihood in 2020. They voted to extend mail-in ballots 3 days past Election Day on 2020. Voted to kick off the Green Party off the ballot in 2020. They don't care about democracy or choice. They're the ones that say that the MAGA is destroying democracy and is out to destroy it. But it's really them. They also voted to redistrict the maps. Took away the third party after kicking them off the ballot, and gave the third party legislative maps to Democrats to redistrict in 2022, allowing them to win more races. These are the people that made your kids wear masks for 4 to 5 months in summertime during school and before school started. These are the judges that you should be mad about. These are the corrupt judges that you need to be getting outside on November 4th, 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. and kicking them off the ballot and voting no 5 times in this election to vacate that. Because if we vacate them in coming up in November 4th in 2027, we'll be able to vote in a special election in 2027 to vote for Republican judges right before the 2028 presidential election. And that would make a huge impact on the state of Pennsylvania right before a presidential election. In fact, I guess I could show you somewhere. Where is it? I guess I don't have it, but I guess I could find it for you. But it would look like a really red Pennsylvania if we kicked the Democrats off the bench and vacated them off the bench, and in 2025, and voted Republicans back in with a 5-2 majority, 5 Republicans and 2 Democrat judges. So That's here. I'm going to show you real quick exactly what I'm talking about, so you can see what a red non-gerrymandering state would look like. So this is by Jeremiah Watson. Here is what non-gerrymandered Pennsylvania would look like. 13 Republicans, 4 Democrats. This is why we must kick all 3 Democrat justices off the ballot, off the Supreme Court this November. Vote no to retention for Judge Donahue, Judge Wetch, Judge Dougherty. Let's flip the Commonwealth Court from blue to red. And as you can see, there's only two counties that would be blue, and the rest would be dark red or bright red or light red. And this is what it would look like if we get a majority of Republicans in the Supreme Court come 2027. But it must be up to you guys. It must be your fight. It must be your battle. It must be your war. You gotta get out there and vote no 5 times on retention, and win back the courts, deconstruct the courts, deconstruct the administrative state. We must bring the fight to the Democrats every single day, every single election. We must bring the heat on the Democrats, put the pressure on the Democrats. The May 20th presidential, May 20th, not presidential, May 20th primary was egregious. It was pathetic. It was 10, at least here in York County, it was a 10.65% voter turnout, where 318,447 registered Republicans and 50,000 something mail-in ballots and provisionals. It was all mail-in ballots. If President Trump and the PA lawmakers have decided recently to agree on getting rid of mail-in ballots, PA lawmakers have said that, and that they would help and get rid of mail-in ballots. It should have been done way after 2020. It should have been done in like 2021. It should have been done in 2022. It should have been done in 2023. It should have been done in 2024. But we don't have it because we don't have America First legislators and governors in right now. We have a corrupt criminal Democrat governor, Josh Shapiro, who covered up a sexual harassment suit with an advisor for $292,000 when he got in office, and he downplays it in one of his videos, saying, "Consider the source of the pro tempore Kim Ward. He's got a woman issue. He's scared of strong, independent women. He's got a woman issue," and this is why it is so important that we vote for Stacy Garrity, and whoever she decides to pick. If it's a woman, it's even better, because he will have a struggle. He will have a struggle battle. He will have a challenge. He will squirm, and he will wiggle like a worm on a hook, because he can't stand strong, independent women. And there is several of them that he could pick from. She can pick from. Sorry. Stacy Garrity could pick from Charity Grimm. She could pick Kristen Phillips Hill. He can pick trying to think of Natalie Malik. She could pick see who else was there. Martina White for lieutenant governor. She could pick all 4 of these picks, or somebody that we don't even know about. If it's a woman, we win completely. But we must keep one person off the ballot or far away from the ballot, and that is Doug Mastriano. Because Doug Mastriano lost in the 2022 race with 14% of the vote, and he still had $1.1 million in his campaign finance. Look, winners leave with everything, losers Leave with nothing. Leave it all on the table. And I can prove it to you. Bam. As you can see, if you cannot see, it says right there, it says $1,000 some and highlighted, and he left that on the table. You want to put everything on the table. You want to win, and he did not. He is a loser. He's a charlatan and a loser, and he's even made Stacy Garrity look bad as well. The other thing is, so that is one thing, and this is what it could look like in and this is what it looked like in 2024 when Stacy Garrity got 3.9 million votes statewide in a statewide row office race, beating Josh Shapiro's 2.9 million in 2022. See if I can find it for you. That's not it. This is it right here. Look at that. So there was only 1, 2, 3, 4 Democrats counties that didn't vote for Stacy Garrity. The rest, she had the whole state red in 2024. Again, beating Aaron McClelland, who was a Democrat and an anti-Semite, and so she beat him there. Now I'm going to show you what the 2022 Shapiro race looked like. Bam. More blue states than there were with Stacy than there were with Josh Shapiro and Doug Mastriano run comparison. And as you can see, he lost magnificently with 14% and 9,000 some 9,000, and Josh Shapiro got the popular vote with 3 million votes, and Doug got 2 million votes. Percentage, he got 56.49, and Doug got 41.17. Now, you can't tell me, and now I'm going to bring this back up to you again. And this one, look at this one. So she got the popular vote, and she also got the popular vote and over Democrat, and percentage was 51.91%, and she got 45%, 45.65%. So it is a mega win when she won in 2024. But what's really important going forward, because if we don't get, it's really important going forward that we make a massive voter turnout in 2025 and the general election to vacate these criminal corrupt judges in the Supreme Court, so we get a majority win. And it's up to you guys to do it. It's up to we need to push and push and push. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your friends at school. If you're 18, tell your neighbors to come out and vote in November 4th, 2025, and share the information to vote no 5 times to vacate these criminal corrupt judges and deconstruct the Supreme Court of Pennsylvania in 2025, so we get a majority in 2027 when we vote for a special election. I want to show you exactly some things that they did. So first of all, we're going to go to this. So we'll go up to here. As you can see, these two voted for mail-in ballots 2 days after Election Day in 2020. kicked the Green Party off the ballot in 2020. All three said goodbye democracy. Said allowed Governor Wolf to shut down PA during COVID. That was your businesses, that was your churches, that was your schools, that was your livelihood. They also chose winners and losers for essential businesses to stay open. We'll get to that in a minute. So, as you can see, that's how they voted in 2020 for they shredded your election integrity. They even denied evidence of election fraud in 2020 Trump campaign and denied the people of it and walked away from election integrity and didn't serve the people. So that is one thing we need to do. The other thing I'm going to show you. Hold on. So anyway, my thing is loading. We need to continue to push for early in-person voting over the counter, not mail-in ballots, and in-person voting in 2025. And so that means to be ready for when the time comes. The date is November 4th, 2025. Remember that, November 4th, 2025, from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. at your polling place where you vote. You can early vote, I think maybe 1 to 2 months before the election, and but we need to focus on early in-person voting and in-person voting. Now, like I said, I was going to show you. Right there you have it. Vote no on judicial reattention for these three, but there's also two more. It says these judges violated your constitutional freedoms, locked down schools, churches, and businesses during COVID, and picked winners and losers for essential PA businesses, forced unconstitutional orders without due process, and shredded our election integrity, twisted laws to enable unfair redistricting, and allowed mail-in ballot returns 3 days late in 2020. And removed the Green Party from the ballot in 2020, overturned convictions of sexual predators in Commonwealth court cases, and listed below, enjoys lifetime Catholic pension plans at taxpayer expense. The longer in office, the larger their pension grows. Says, let's fire these judges by voting no on November 4th, 2025. If you vote them out, a special election will be held in 2027, and we could create a Republican majority on the Pennsylvania Supreme Court before the next presidential election in 2026. Or no, 2028, sorry. If we don't all vote no, we will be stuck with a Democrat majority on the court for the next 10 years. So there you have it. It's up to you guys. It's up to us, we the people, to tell them to vote them out and say you don't serve us anymore. You're spineless specks. You're corrupt criminal judges. We need to bring the fight to them and need to keep the fight going and finish what we started and so forth. And so we need to do that. In fact, I think I have another one to show you, if I can bring it up. So here is the whole picture. Bingo. The whole picture. These are the 5 you voted for, Michael. The other 2 you're voting no on. Vote no 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alice Beck Dubrow. Michael H. Rujek, and Christine Donahue, David Wetcht, and Kevin Dougherty. These are the ones you are voting out, vacating the bench so we can get the majority in office. The other thing we have is I wanted to show you was, if I can find it for you guys. Here it is. This is where I got the information on the Trump campaign in. It says, PA voters vote no on judge retention this November. Did you know the same judges up for retention this year were the ones who blocked the Trump campaign in 2020, claiming they didn't have standing to challenge the clear irregularities in our election process? Instead of hearing the evidence, these judges shut down the door on transparency and walked away from their duty to uphold election integrity. Judges who refuse to defend the rule of law and ignore the people's concerns don't deserve another term. This November, when you see the judge retention questions on the ballot, vote no on legitimacy and political cover-ups. Let's remind the courts they answer to we the people. And then, see what else. So, as I was saying about President Trump and his tweet on, or his post on Truth about mail-in ballots and going back to machines and so forth. I'm going to show you exactly what I mean here shortly, but PA lawmakers are getting to that as well. So here we go. Hold on. So this is the solution to getting that done. Every Republican Party precinct committeeman slot filled by a volunteer America Firster. Much greater turnouts of America First voters. Primary, general election, America First winners. America First state legislators and governors in office. So to the goal, hand-counted paper ballots, no machines, mailed ballots only for military invalids, small precincts, one-day election. This right here, this whole picture right here is what needs to happen. We need to have the precinct committee seats filled with America First, a volunteer America Firsters as precinct committeemen and America First state GOP precinct committeemen to get out the vote for primary and general election America First winners, so we can get America First and state legislators and governors in the office like Stacy Garrity, to get hand-counted paper ballots, no machines, mailed ballots only for military invalids, small precincts, and one-day election day. So that's how it is done. How can you help? How can you help get that done? I can show you that right now. So this is how it gets done. In 2026, county committee people and state committee people are up for a vote. And I'm going to get to that shortly. Registered Republican voters, that's you. Precinct committeemen, that's me and others on the ballot in 2026. We elect legislative district committee officers and county committee officers and state committeemen. And then state committeemen vote on state chair. And then state convention delegates vote on national committeemen and committeewomen and national convention delegates. So that's you. Just because that's you. You have the power to elect us. You have the power to elect good America Firsters in the county GOPs and the state GOPs. But you need to stay informed. Oops. So that's how it's done, guys. Just because, look, the precinct committee office is the most powerful office in the country. Not the president, not the state legislators, not Congress, not the state house, but precinct committee people. Because precinct committeemen vote on county party leadership, and county party leadership then votes on state party leadership, and state party leadership then votes on RNC leadership. It's real political power. No precinct committeeman, no Republican Party. It is that simple. So, as I said, but we also in 26 we also have another huge important election coming up, and I'm going to show you. Did it go? All right, it's right here. If you can see it, Greg Rothman, state chairman, Andy Riley, national committee man, Christine Turretti, national committee woman. These two in the RNC election, when Mike Lindell ran and Harmeet Dillon ran and Ronna McDaniel ran, these two voted by proxy for Ronna McDaniel in the RNC election. How do I know that? Because I asked Harmeet Dillon, who ran in the RNC election, who is now in Trump's cabinet. Yes, I am friends with Harmeet Dillon. And she's now in Trump's cabinet or as an appointee to one of the courts and so forth as a lawyer. She's in that, and this guy here is just elected in 2024. So you have the power to decide whether he stays or he goes, and so forth. So, like I said, every vote counts in every single election. I don't care if you say it doesn't count. My vote's not being counted. It counts in every single election. That's from school boards, county school boards, to state committee people, to county committee people, to county judges, county commissioners, and so forth. They all count, and it's all done by you. The more votes, the better. The more Republic America Firsters, the better. We need a complete, massive red wave mega populism movement turnout in 2025, November 4th, and in 2026. If you want to get things done, if you want to win, and so forth. And Stacy Garrity in 2026 is the best winning option right now, with 3.9 million votes for statewide row office in 2024, most votes ever for a statewide row office, beating Josh Shapiro's 2.9 million votes in 2022. This woman is a political threat. This woman is a threat to Josh Shapiro, and he's going to be squirming, and he's going to be challenged to get the heck out of office. Look, and so I did find a video. I did find a scene for you guys with Scott Perry and McCormick and Smucker addressing the mail-in ballots post. So I want to get to that. First. So here we go.
You know, I haven't thought about that. My quick reaction is, if we could wave a magic wand and do away with all voting machines and have single day voting in person and not early mail-in balloting. If we could have that world, I would prefer that world. That's not the world we've been able to have in Pennsylvania, and so we made a real effort to encourage mail-in ballots so we could close the gap with the Democrats and did so successfully in 2024. It's one of the reasons President Trump won in Pennsylvania. It's one of the reasons I won. So I guess my number one view is I would never want to unilaterally disarm on that. I would only want to go down that path where they were eliminated across the board. I'm not sure if that's
with that. I would, if I had my choice, I would do away with mail-in voting as well. But
Okay. Just twisted.
I would do away with mail-in voting as well. But we as Republicans learn to work within that system. We have generally at the federal level.
Okay. Okay, so it's not gonna work.
Delegated the election process to the states, and so I don't know exactly what the president has in mind here, but I would have some hesitation with the.
Maybe this will work. So I guess it's not going to show you.
With taking control of all of the election process at the federal level when it's a state.
That I wished I lived in a world where we had single-day voting, except for the absentee ballot where necessary. Without electronic machines but that's not the world we have. Now, just like the senator and the congressman behind me, I think we all agree with Article 1, which says that the federal Constitution says that the states will determine the time, place, and manner of elections, and we understand that.
So there you have it. And Josh Shapiro said the exact same thing, but I mean, who you gonna believe you now? It is possible if, like I said, as I showed this earlier in the thing, it all leads to this right here: primary general election, America First winners, America First state legislators and governors equals hand counted paper ballots, no machines, mail-in ballots only for military and invalids, small precincts, one-day election. But it all goes back to this: become a precinct committee person in your GOP, county GOP, and state GOP. Become a Trump supporter, America Firster, mega precinct committeeman, and filled and volunteer America Firster. Much greater turnouts of America First voters, primary general election, America First winners, America First legislators, and plus governors. Hand counted paper ballots, no machines, mail-in ballots only for military invalids, and small precincts, one-day election. So there you have it, guys. It all comes down to you, to America First just getting out and vote, to America First just getting out and vote, to conservatives going out and vote and getting involved in your local election and so forth. So go out and vote and get involved in your elections and help us deconstruct the administrative state. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your aunts and uncles that live near you and your neighbors to get out and vote in November 4th in every single election going forward, so we can turn Pennsylvania from purple to red with Stacy Garrity in 2026 and get a majority in the state house and state senate and so forth, and get involved in your organizations, it's all about action, action, action here. Use your agency, get involved, stay involved. Every single fight, every single day is going to be a fight to keep our republic, to keep our Commonwealth, to keep our constitutional republic, to keep our America, and from turning to socialism and communism. If you think the Democrats and the liberals are going to give it to us that easy, you're sadly mistaken. Every day is going to be a fight to keep your rights and keep your liberties and your freedoms. Every day is going to be a fight to take back what was stolen from you, taken from you in 2020. This is where America needs to get angry, where Americans need to get angry and vote. Just like you did in 2024 when you gave President Trump the nomination and voted for him in the primary and gave him an onslaught victory or a landslide victory in 2024. And look what he's doing. Got to do the same for every county and local county and candidate and statewide candidate going forward. We must be angry enough to get out and vote in every single election. There's election almost 2 or 4 months here in Pennsylvania, and we need to stay vigilant. We need to stay awake. We need to stay alert. We need to stay ready, guys, and be prepared to vote and be informed on voting. That's what I'm here for. That's why I keep telling you these things, and why I keep repeating that we need to vacate these corrupt criminal judges who overturned sexual predator convictions in Supreme Court cases, who enjoys larger pensions on your paychecks and your taxpayer money, who denied election integrity and extended mail-in ballots 3 days past the election day in 2020, who kicked off the Green Party off the ballot in 2020 and said goodbye to democracy, and who shut down your schools, who shredded your election integrity, and gave the third-party maps over to the Democrats to be redistributed. This is your chance to take back what was stolen from you. Remember all of those months where you couldn't go anywhere, where you had to stay in your house, where the students who graduated in 2020 couldn't go to prom, couldn't go to snowball dances, couldn't go to graduation, and couldn't get their gifts, couldn't be with their friends, where you had to stay in your house, where you were shut down, where you couldn't make money, but only off of unemployment and stimulus checks from the government as safety nets. This is where you take back what was taken from you, where your rights were taken from you, your freedoms were taken from you. This is Pennsylvania. This is where freedom and liberty were born, where the Constitution was signed, the Declaration was signed, and where the Gettysburg battlefield was, and the Liberty Bell is, where Benjamin Franklin was living, and so William Penn. This is the fight to keep our Pennsylvania. This is the fight to keep our Commonwealth. The Commonwealth has more power than any other state that is not a Commonwealth, because it has more power in the people, and gives more power to the people through the state, through the representatives and legislators, and so forth. This is where your voice matters. This is where it really counts, and we need to continue the fight, and we need to finish what we started. I can't say it anymore. We need a full-blown red wave tsunami turnout in November 4th, 2025. At least a 50 to 40% voter turnout to get statewide judges in, and statewide and retention judges off the bench, and vacate them for a majority in 2027. I keep repeating this because we tried it in 2023, and we didn't get Todd Platts off. And we didn't get the other judges off either for retention. But this is our chance to do it again and focus on the mission at hand. Focus at the mission at hand and getting involved in these elections every single time. Well, this is all I have for you tonight. I'll see you tomorrow afternoon. Have a good one. And this is all from the Lion's Den with Stephen Carr.